Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football for the Merseyside derby watch-along. It's Liverpool against Everton, it's red against blue, it's Anfield, it's Klopp against Deitch. I could think of many other things, but we're excited for this one, surely. Massive game in the Premier League, context is key. Everton are in a relegation battle despite beating Arsenal last week. There's a lot of work for Deitchy to do. And also, shine Deitch like a diamond. I was on the Super Bowl at the break yesterday singing Rihanna. You can stand under my umbrella. But and also Klopp. Klopp is also an interesting one tonight as well. In essence, we've got a... Well, look, I think, can I get it up on the table? I think I probably can get it up on the table here. Very interesting situation in relation to the Premier League. Many people would say it looks ridiculously impossible for a team like Liverpool to get into the top 10 now. Look at the league table there, and then we'll go through the team news as well. But Liverpool barely in the top 10 with 29 points, putting them a huge 12 points off top 4, but they have got 2 games in hand. And the next game, I think, is Newcastle next Saturday, isn't it? So it's a very, very interesting situation, and it's certainly a game that both sides want to win. I'm going to go with the draw, actually. I'm going to go with the draw in this one. Don't know what everyone else thinks. But let's get into the team news. Let's get the stats carousel running round. What a week we've got for you this week as well. Tonight, we've got the Merseyside derby watch-along on this channel. Tomorrow night, we've got Bayern against PSG. Watch-along, Champions League, and also Spurs against AC Milan. Wednesday night, absolutely huge game. Absolutely massive. We've got, what have we got? We've got Manchester City's trip to Arsenal. I nearly bloody forgot it myself. And then on Thursday night on the United Stand, I'm doing Barcelona against Manchester United. So it's a brilliant week of football. It's great when the Champions League and the Europa League and everything kicks back in, and some big Premier League games are going on as well. So loads to get involved in, and you're all very, very welcome, of course, to get involved with the channel. So make sure you subscribe. Fantastic community. If you missed out on the Super Bowl last night, fair play. You got sleep. I didn't. Many of us didn't. We had... I think we averaged about 10,000 people watching for 4.5 hours, the Super Bowl. Unbelievable stuff. 3 hours sleep. But, we're on the homeward track now. So let's have a look at the team news. Alisson starts in goal. Trent, Matip, Gomez, Robertson. Henderson, Fabinho, Bajcetic. I can't pronounce his name. Obviously, Thiago has an injury now. And then Salah, Nunez and Gakpo for Liverpool. Can they start to fire at some point? Still no Diaz back, but Jota is back. He is on the bench. Kate is on the bench. Firmino's back. He's on the bench. Van Dijk is back and on the bench. So could it be a turn of fortunes for Liverpool? Big atmosphere tonight. And then Everton have got Pickford, Coleman, Cody, Tarkowski, Mikalenko, McNeil, Decore, Gaya, Anana and Iwobi, and then he's gone with Sims up front. I mean, who's Sims? Number 50 up front, Sims. Options on the bench, he could have gone with Morpay. Yerry Mina's on the bench. Damari Gray's on the bench. Obviously Michael Keane, Holgate, Godfrey, Davies and Vinagre. So who is Sims? I don't know nothing about him. He's number 50, Simsbridge, exactly. Don't know who he is, don't know much about him, but let us know in the chat if you do. For our first super chat of the evening, it's from Sakin. Off topic, as an international fan of the EPL, I would rather watch a United game at Old Trafford than any of the stadium just because of the vibe and history. There we go. Thank you very much for that, Sakin. Don't forget as well, hopefully this will go round. I don't know why it wouldn't. No, okay. Okay, let me put that there. And that's added in there. Take that and pause that. Okay. We are sponsored by Sneak on the show. I thought we were. I mean, this is the most appropriate sponsorship we've ever had. If you don't know what Sneak is, where have you been? Sneak energy drinks. I drink them a lot, and I'm surviving on 3 hours sleep for this stream tonight. So I am on the Sneak, sugar-free, low-calorie energy drinks delivered to your door. You can get one of these and 9 different sachets as part of a starter pack. Lovely flavours. They do fizzy drinks as well. 40 serving tubs if you want them. But the starter pack's probably the best place to start because you get your container, you get 9 different sachets to try. I'm on the cherry bomb, but you've got blue raspberry, you've got tropical. They've got I think they've got about 30 flavours. So try, strawberry millions, bubblegum, loads of them, lovely flavours, and delivered to your door. Please use the code SneakBridge. It really helps out the channel. But next day delivery in the UK, scan the QR code on the screen or go through the link in the description. Big shout out to Sneak. It's going to be a really big help for me today because I literally did have 3 hours sleep. We're going to do a bit of a poll as well, but thanks very much to Sneak. As I said, please use the code SneakBridge and check it out. I'm sure you'll like it. We've also got a poll, result poll. Players are about to come out in the chat. No, not going to come out in the chat. They're just about to come out the tunnel. So we've got Liverpool who are at home. We go draw or we go Everton. Everton. There we go. Get your votes in. I've gone with the draw, but at some point I will concede that I think at some point Liverpool will click. They surely have to click. How annoyed at you at hijacked player ratings are you, says Matt. It's just a one-off. It'll be sorted for Barcelona. It's a members-only player ratings now, so it's simple. I don't need 16,000 on player ratings to get a bit of an average. I'll just use the 400 members we've got. It'll be fine. It was a bit annoying. Well, it just ruined. So it's a story of life, isn't it? That the thick minority ruin it for the nice majority. That's there's all these quotes from bloody Einstein and Roger Moore and everything, and this is probably one of the best quotes you'll ever hear. The thick minority ruin it for the nice majority. Mark Goldbridge, 2023. Hi Mark, as a Barca fan, do you give us a chance against Man United? We struggled to break down Villarreal yesterday. We're in transition. Keep up the great work. So are we, Ryle. We're still in transition as well. I'd say Barcelona are favourites because you're top of La Liga, and you've got a better squad, I would say. But I'm looking forward to it. Thoughts on Gakpo, Mark? Happy you didn't get him. No, Will. I wish we'd got Gakpo. I think it's. I don't really subscribe to that sort of flip-flop view, really, because I feel that the situation is that Erik ten Hag wanted Gakpo. The club didn't deliver Gakpo. He went to Liverpool. So to then go, I'm glad we didn't get him, goes against what the manager wanted. What a Super Bowl. Woke up at 2 in the afternoon, says Sam. Yeah, I went to bed at 3:30 and got up at 7:15. So I had 3 hours and 40 minutes sleep. Yeah. But I think Nunez is going to be a hit eventually, and I think Gakpo will be decent as well. But remember, look, people are trying to call Gakpo and Nunez flops, and yet Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson, Jordan Henderson, Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, they're all flopping this season. So how can you really judge new signings for Liverpool when established, reliable leaders in that team are not performing? So I just think it's a transition for Liverpool, but you can't be losing at home. And I think this is going to be really interesting because one area that Sean Dyche has packed tonight is the midfield, and one area that Liverpool have struggled with recently is the midfield. So I think that this is going to be really interesting how this game pans out. The drawing coming, says Junior. Dyche and Klopp having a bit of a hug there. You know what? They're both likeable managers, even though Klopp manages Liverpool. I think they're both characters in the game, and it's like pantomime, isn't it? We might not like Liverpool as Manchester United fans or Arsenal fans or whoever fans. Maybe you do like Liverpool, but he's a character, Klopp. And he's probably the first Liverpool manager I've ever liked. Whether it's begrudgingly or not, I do like Klopp. I think he's a rock and roll manager. He is a bit aggressive. I've said it a few times, and I'm not afraid to say it. I would have loved him to be Manchester United manager after Sir Alex, but it is what it is. We can't. We go with what we got. There we go. I think too many people. Super fans. I mean, I had this today. I mean, we're about to start here, so let's get the game kicked off, and then I'll come back to what I was going to say. But this is the start of the Merseyside derby, a start of a massive week of football and a massive week of watch-alongs on That's Football. I don't even know what we're doing at the weekend because we've got 3 in a row on this channel. 3 nights in a row tonight. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 1 million anyway, but a massive week of football. Plus, you'll get all your normal videos like I put up today about Liverpool and Klopp. Thanks for everyone watching that. And there we go. We're up and running for the start of the game. Let's get that stats carousel running as well. Sponsored by One Football. You can download that through the link in the description as well. Free to download, available on Apple and Android and all other platforms. Get all your latest breaking football news and stats on One Football for free. Let's get started there. But yeah, you know, it's like sometimes you say things and you think, I'm going to get clipped up for that. And to be honest, I'm past caring. I don't really care, really. I'm not really bothered because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I would have loved Jurgen Klopp to come to Manchester United, and the fact that he was rumoured to call us Disneyland, he was probably bloody right. Doesn't make him not be a great manager. And funnily enough, anybody who's got a problem with me saying I would have took Klopp at Man United, going, you can't be a proper United fan because he's a Liverpool coach. You're a prat. He wasn't a Liverpool coach when I wanted him. And the second thing is, I've heard Liverpool fans and Chelsea fans say that, you know, they wouldn't have minded getting Ten Hag. You know, they think he's a good coach. So I think football's moved on. Like I said this a few weeks ago. I think football's moved on. I think you can have the rivalry, and you've always got to have the rivalry, but you can respect other players. The 10 years of United being shit in the wilderness has sort of made me watch football in a different way. Because when, you know, I had 30 years of my life where United were always basically challenging for a title. The last 10 we've been nowhere near one. You can't live a lie that we're title contenders, so you have to consume and look at football in a different way and appreciate those teams that are title contenders, and a lot of those are rivals. So it's been a learning curve. Every day's a school day. Early free kick for Everton, but it's in their own half, so they're going to hit this long high line by Liverpool. Mark, do you think... Paul says, I don't think you should be critical of people's IQ levels. No one's mentioned their IQ. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's like today. I responded about 20 minutes ago to somebody calling me a bloody Forest fan because a year ago I said I would sell Rashford to PSG, and it's like people think I should apologise for that. I keep playing the clip. I don't mind. It's completely irrelevant because it's a year old, but I've always backed Rashford. I've always liked Rashford, but I think at the end of last season, it was his brother who went to fucking PSG to speak to them. That's what people forget. It wasn't. I didn't pull the opinion out of the air. His brother had been to PSG, his agent, to speak to them. So, and he was playing crap. So at that point, I was like, well, I can't see him turning it around at United. If we could get 60 million for him from PSG, I'd let him go. I'd say it again. I meant it. I meant it back in May. I meant it 100%. I can't apologise for it because I meant it. Well, you know, of course, people see him scoring all these goals, and it's like I said it yesterday. I said it a year ago, and for the last 6 months, I've been saying. I even said today, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the Ballon d'Or. He's playing that well. People just don't seem to be able to change their opinions. They're so. I mean, talk about IQ levels. I don't think they even have one. They're like bloody robots. They're idiots. I mean, I love the fact that I change my mind on things. I don't change it every bloody day like some people, but I think over a period of time, I remember with Matic, I thought he was finished, then he went and had a brilliant season. Things changed, don't they? Look at this Liverpool side. This Liverpool side, a year ago, they looked like they could win the quadruple. Now they don't look like they could get a cup of tea. They look dreadful. You know, should we start clipping up Liverpool fans from a year ago saying this is one of the greatest sides there's ever been? What, for winning an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup on penalties? It's football changes. Football changes all the time. It's a sign of maturity, says Macarena, but some people just don't seem to be able to appreciate it. My score prediction is this is a draw. I look forward to Liverpool Everton. Not because I really have any preferential. I mean, obviously, I prefer Everton to win because Liverpool are our biggest rival. But I look forward to these games because I've got to be honest. I look forward to a few tasty tackles. I look forward to a bit of passion. You know, I loved Leeds Man United yesterday. It's dangerous because if you lose, it's horrible. But if you win, it's great. And there's nothing. Look, there's no love lost between Man United and Leeds, but here's Sims. He's got a chance, and he gets blocked by Gomez. Matip. I've got to say as well, what's going on with Matip? Matip is. I've always said, here we go. Clip me up on this. Go and find it. A year ago, I would have been saying Matip's one of the most underrated centre backs in Europe. Now he's one of the crappiest. things change. He just made a big mistake there. I don't know what's gone on with this Liverpool team. I really don't. It's not my job to know, really, is it? But I don't know what it is. T3D says, hi Mark, it's my birthday. I'm coming to the Manchester for your show. Can't wait for those shows. T3D had a great show on Friday in London on the Fozcast, and can't wait till we're doing our own shows. They're going to be so good. In fact, anyone's welcome. You don't have to be a United fan. There'll be good shows. Lee says, Mark, off topic but on topic. I watched your old video calling out the Twitter trolls from 4 years ago. The topics haven't changed at all, says Lee. No, it's the same old shit. It's boring. It's the same old thing. I just think, I always say, it was funny, we were doing the Super Bowl last night, and this lad put a chat in saying that he was being bullied at school. And I just basically said, look, there's 10,000 people watching, and we've all got your back. So whenever they start on you again, just think about that. You know, there's a lot of people who've got your back, even if it's virtually. You know, it's still people who've got your back. And I just think any kind of, you know, look, calling a footballer shit is based on an opinion that you don't think they're very good. But people who are vile and trolls and stuff like that, it's just self-reflect. I think social media is a mirror. I think when people are abusive and vile towards people, and they don't even know them, I think it's just a mirror of what their own unhappiness. And I know that's not always the easiest thing to cope if you are a victim of it, but that's how I deal with it. Here we go, Sims again. What's this Sims all about? He moves around a bit like Calvert-Lewin. I've seen him make a couple of runs now, and he does remind me a little bit of Calvert-Lewin. His movement's a bit like Calvert-Lewin. Where's Van Disney, says Joshua. He's on the bench. Have you slept since last night? I slept for 3 hours. I can't wait to go to bed tonight. I cannot wait to go to bed tonight. I'm so excited. Yeah. Look, lack of sleep is weird. I've not won on the football fill-in quiz at all in this year. Today, I absolutely annihilated Darren Bent and Ben Foster on the football quiz. You've got to watch it on the football fill-in. If only to see the clip of me falling over on stage, they put that up. But I annihilated him on the quiz off 3 hours sleep. It's like my brain was just in gear this morning for about 2 hours. I played FIFA career mode this afternoon. I'm normally very good defensive. Like, my team's quite good defensively. What did we ship? 8 goals in 2.5 games? Yeah. Helped me on the quiz, destroyed me at FIFA. It was a great night, though. I love the Super Bowl. I would urge you next year, if we do it, to watch the Super Bowl watch-along. It's once a year. You don't really need to know about American football. We had all these American sweets and snacks and drinks, and I just love doing it. That and my quiz, that and the charity thing we do in November. I love all the football stuff. I love the community we've got. But when you do little different things like that, it was good. It was a good laugh, and I really, really enjoyed it. And the funny thing was, I saw this morning, somebody messaged me saying that this American football fan channel in America posted that our independent NFL fan channel was 3rd on YouTube for most views for the Super Bowl yesterday. And I think ESPN was number 1. Guess who was number 2? Goldbridge. Watchalong. Your Watchalong. We were number 2, which is amazing because we didn't really know much about NFL. But it just shows the community. How's Darren Bent, says Stevie. Funnily enough, it's the first time I've met Darren Bent, and I've had a few interactions with him on Twitter, which, people should always take as... I mean, that's the thing, I've disagreed with Darren Bent on Twitter a few times. It's the first time I've met him. It's got on really well. Nice guy, which is what a lot of people had said to me anyway. Here's Salah. I mean, you can disagree and have an argument, It's like Beth cannot stand. Beth from the United stand, it's proper going in on De Gea at the moment. And people are messaging me saying you need to sack Beth. And I'm like, it's a fan channel. It's all about opinion. If she wants to believe that De Gea's no good, that's up to her. She's wrong, but, it's all about opinion. Zero reason to believe me, but a Qatari friend told me in October that Qatar were interested in United, has just now told me it's done deal, says Shurb. Well, that's... Sure, I don't disagree with you, but I said that last night on NFL, so my NFL watch-along, so Slow Sports News. I suppose if you weren't watching the watch-along last night, you don't know. Liverpool have got a brilliant free kick position here, right on the edge of the box. Let's wait and see what happens. When's the next game for Goldbridge, says NAU. When I get some time. Darts World Final watch along, says Gamer. I can't speak. I can't speak. I've never seen anything like it in my life. I can't speak. Okay, I love that commentary. It's so good. I'll come back to that guitar thing about Manchester United. I'm doing a watch along for the next 3 nights on this channel. Oh, Salah straight into the wall. What's happened to Mo Salah? I think the real Mo Salah has taken a year out, and they've put Mo Salah's haircut on somebody. He's a lucky likey, basically. He ain't Mo Salah. I don't know what's gone wrong with him. I really don't. I can't speak. I can't speak. He's hit it. Oh! Triple 20. Triple 20. I can't speak. I can't speak. I'm getting goosebumps. It was great. That game was brilliant. The commentary was superb as well. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, so last night I was doing the Super Bowl watch along in the early hours, and was getting asked loads of questions, and basically people were talking about the Man United bid, and I said, look, 2 people yesterday have told me that Qatar are going to buy Man United, and one of them was just a random message from somebody that might be right or wrong. The other one was from somebody that I basically know their CV. I know where they've worked. I know where they work now. It wasn't like anonymous, so and there's every reason to believe that they might know something about it. So look, I'm not saying we're going to be bought by Qatar, but basically the same information twice yesterday afternoon was that if UEFA and the Premier League let Qatar buy Man United, they'll buy Man United because they're going to blow everyone out of the water. So, Shoaib's just said that there then. I think there's been a few things today in the press as well, but as I said, I was told this yesterday afternoon. I would just say, I don't know what I think about that. I'm not like going, oh, this is amazing, this is the best thing ever. I don't know what I think about it. I'll think about it when it actually happens. But yeah. Did you try the tackies, Mark? Been waiting for the clips. We didn't get any clips from the Super Bowl, Joshua. I think the worst thing I tried was the toxic waste. That was like sucking on a bar of soap. Actually, it was, somebody said it in the chat, it was like sucking on a dishwasher tablet. But there we go. But I did try the tackies, and it did make my poo a bit turquoise, to be blunt. Anyway, this if Qatar buyers, do you think we get Mbappe, says Rudolph the Red? I don't know. Toxic waste are horrible at the start, Man United fan, but they get nice after about a minute. You've just got to suck your way through it. That's what she said. As I say, it was a good stream. Who's better this season, Son or Salah? I don't know. I tell you what, that golden boot must be infected with making players shit. Win the golden boot, and that happens, both of them. Just on the poll, 30% have gone with the Liverpool win, 28% have gone with the draw, and 41% have gone with the Everton win. You'd never predict that, would you? Although, at the moment, it's quite an equal game. Give Ten Hag 5 years and we'll win the Super Bowl, says Golden Falcon. Yeah, I enjoyed the Super Bowl last night. God, this Liverpool side needs Diaz so much. There's such a lack of energy, says Oliver. It's funny, isn't it? A lot of Liverpool fans talk about how they miss Mane, and there's no doubt that they do. But the player that took Mane's place was actually Liverpool's best outfield player before he got injured, and they do really miss him. What do you think about Man United starting against 5:45 on Thursday? I didn't realise until a couple of hours ago that game was kicking off at 5:45 actually. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I think when it's Man United against Barcelona, it's a bit of a shame when it starts at that time. But welcome to Members Club, the Royal Mail X. I hope you're doing well. Oh, I can't speak. There's an injury here, but it's not been a pulsating. Okay, I've got an announcement. That's why I'm on my phone. I wanted to do this. It's very important to do this. So last night we were sponsored by Manscaped on the Super Bowl, and they gave away the Performance Package 4.0, where you got the ball trimmer, the weed whacker, the travel bag, the boxer shorts, the ball deodorant from Manscaped. You had to enter to win and predict who was going to win and see if you got picked. So the winner of the Manscaped competition, sounds like I'm doing a bit of river dance. I will start with that. I do like river dance. Well, the reason I did it is because the winner is Daniel Kennedy, who could be in Riverdance with a name like that. So well done to Daniel. You've won the Manscaped competition. Daniel Kennedy. At least it's not Danielle Kennedy. That would not work. I would not try a Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 on your chuff. I mean, I know it's meant to be smoother, but I just wouldn't try it because, I just wouldn't do it. My dog's brother is from Qatar, and it's a done deal, so Stuart Bates. My goldfish is from Qatar, and he said it's a done deal too. Here we go. They're all starting now. Norfolk Enterprise. Mark, did you ever rate Doug Mountjoy in snooker? Also, do you ever think we could see snooker as an Olympic sport? Says Joe. I think we should see snooker as an Olympic sport, and I'm really pleased that Stephen Hendry's YouTube channel is doing really well, because I've always liked snooker. I think it's a really therapeutic game, and I'd love to see it in the Olympics. But the reason Man United are playing Barcelona at 5:45 on Thursday is because they're both in the fucking Poundland Champions League, aren't they? They're in the Europa League, so we can't moan about it. They're not even in the bloody Europa League proper. This is the qualifier to get into the knockout. So, yeah, of course it's going to be at 5:45. Haven't caught you live in a while, mate. Had to renew the old membership after some issues in life. Hope all is well. What happened to Football Manager, though? Miss it, says the Royal Mail X. We'll probably be back doing some Football Manager soon. It's just, I'm really enjoying FIFA at the moment. The Man United career mode on Twitch every day at about 3:10. It's good. Liverpool on the attack. Quite an equal game so far. Ooh, interesting volley. Oh, Cody Gakpo. It's probably a little bit above him, but he's not scoring goals, is he, for Liverpool at the moment? And it was quite quick interplay. Cross came into the back post. I think Darwin Núñez was actually crossing that, and I'm just wondering if we can see that chance again. Cody Gakpo probably should have done a little bit better. Bobby says Cody Shatpo. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Royal Mail X. You're well known for delivering, especially on those Twitch streams. I love the FIFA 2, of course. Never forget the Burnley days, says the Royal Mail X. Yeah, they need to get Daichi on the Everton manager job now. They need to go do an update. I feel UEFA will grant Qatar to buy Man United, as they were the only ones who stood by UEFA against the Super League, says Shahan. Good point. Good point, well made. Give me some sneak. Oh, I needed that today. I need that energy today. It's been a long day. I've been filming out with Ben Foster. I had to drive down there. Then it's just been, it's not enough. 3 hours sleep. It's not enough. Not enough. Don't forget, if you want to get yourself some sneak, please use the code SneakBridge. They're sponsoring the stream tonight. Get your starter pack where you get a container and 9 different sachets of your choice to try. Scan the QR code, use the code SneakBridge, and Trent with the cross there, but Pickford comes out. Links are also in the video description for Sneak. Some lovely flavours to try. Let us know what your favourite flavour is if you've had Sneak before. I'd say my favourite flavour is probably Origins, which is rhubarb and custard. I really do like it. I'm probably in the minority with it, but I do. I need to do a little... There's nobody in the chat really giving us any updates or info on Everton striker Sims. Ellis Sims is his name. It's not Calvert-Lewin up front. His name is Elliot Sims. He's 22. So it's not like he's 17. He's 22. Place of birth Oldham, 6'3". He's been at Everton since 2017, formerly at Man City and Blackburn. He was on loan at Sunderland last year, 17 games and 7 goals. He's been at Hearts, he's been at Blackpool. So he's 22, just 22. So Yeah, I mean, he's not. He's no. He's a Wish Calvert-Lewin. Says someone in the chat. Do you think Liverpool need to look to buy some centre backs as well this summer? And if so, who? Says, well, they've got a lot of centre backs. It's just whether you want to upgrade those centre backs. Jacob says, please say hello to my baby Kane. He's my firstborn son, born a couple of days ago. He's enjoying his first watch along. Big shout out to Jacob and your other half. Obviously, you've not given us her name and she did all the work. Typical bloke. But I'll give her a shout out because I know what it's like having witnessed 3 childbirths. And they think the Alien trilogy is bad and gory. I don't want to put any women off childbirth, but you know, apparently it's a natural, nice process to go through and it's very rewarding. But obviously, it's not like it gets delivered by a stork. There is a bit of. I don't want to say it's worse for the man because that would be completely offensive. But visually, it's not a great thing to watch. But it's a brilliant thing to do. And shout out to you, Mrs. Jacob, but also to baby Kane and you. You've played your part. Might have only took a few seconds, but you did play your part, Jacob. And at least you did. And welcome to Kane as well. Digging a hole for myself a bit there. But well done to Mrs. Jacob. Keep digging, says JD. Yeah, I have a tendency to do that. Most important question is, who is Kane going to support, Jacob? And therefore, who do you support? Ladios says it's fun making children as well. Depends who it's with. Keenan. Oh, nice ball into Salah. Thanks for the super chat, Keenan. Danish says I nearly choked there. Christian, thanks for the super chat. Ben says he's new and he's a United fan. Tired Bridge says Zemish. You know what? I am tired, but I like our live streams. I like the community. I like the banter, and I like watching football. Good cross to the back post. Pickford punches it away. Didn't really need to come that far, but it's worked out okay for him. Everton not really doing anything offensively, but then again, they didn't really do a lot offensively against Arsenal. Well organised, and they had that set play. They are obviously looking to hit on the break. Sonic says Pickford's so dodgy. I don't get this. I mean, obviously, I'm fortunate to get to talk to Ben Foster quite regularly when we do the football fill-in and stuff. And I was talking to him today about the. I don't know whether you saw the first Spurs goal that they conceded on Saturday, and I said it was, you know, thinking back, it was stupid. I said the keeper's got to do better there. And Ben Foster was like, no, he can't do better there. And I was like, oh, he can. And then you think, actually, I'm arguing with somebody who's played in goal in the Premier League and has played for England and Manchester United. But, yeah, we've had a conversation about who should be England goalkeeper. And, I mean, Pope and Ramsdale are better. They are better. Do you think they offer blokes gas and air, says Joshua? Well, Del Boy had a bit, didn't he, in Only Fools and Horses when his kid was born. I always wanted to try it. Hi Mark, did you see the Rangers game yesterday? It was a remake of Villa versus Leeds in the Championship. I was at the game and it was incredible, says Ben. No, I didn't. It's just another example of Southgate nepotism, isn't it? He's a favourite and Southgate will just keep picking him until he gets the sack. But he's not the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. I mean, for me, lovely play by Salah. This is. Oh, I couldn't get the cross right, but that was a little bit more like the old Salah there. How's your ankle, says Hamoud? Mate, if you see the slip, I put it on my Twitter earlier. On Friday night. I did a show in London, and we were on stage doing a quiz, and I got a question right, and I basically showed off, slipped on some beer. You watch that back, if that was on a football pitch, that could have been a cruciate ligament. It made me throw up a little bit seeing how my leg went from underneath me, but I was all right. Mark's out for the next 4 weeks due to a slip injury, says Ladios. I wanted the Eagles to win in the Super Bowl, Avi. Yes, I did. But Is what it is. I don't lose any sleep about it. Dr. Pepper was lovely. The cherry flavoured Dr. Pepper was very nice. I'll never be drinking that again. We don't sell it in the UK. 25 minutes has flown by here, hasn't it? Forest Gamer, thanks for your first chat. Super chat there. Thank you very much. Thoughts on the holding call against the Eagles, says Inbred. Yeah, well, this is a Super Bowl chat. So basically, with 2 minutes to go, it was 35 all, I believe. And Mahomes played a play, overthrow a pass, and then they went back for an infringement where the Eagles player had been holding a Chiefs offence player, which gave the Chiefs a first down with 2 minutes to go, and they basically ran the clock down and did a kick and won it. Technically, I think it was a hold, but ultimately, he was never going to make the catch, and you've just ruined the Super Bowl final. So I just think, on a weekend where we had some really terrible officiating in the Premier League, I think that was terrible officiating in the Super Bowl. And the super thing is, he wouldn't have been criticised for not giving it. I think it was a stupid call, but it ruined what was mainly a really good game. Crossed by Liverpool, headed away by Tarkowski. If Liverpool's midfield and defence was on it like last season, Gakpo and Nunes would be shining. First super chat, by the way, says Keenan. Waited for ages to do it. Good point as well, Keenan Moodley. I agree with you. I think the criticism of Gakpo and Nunes is unfair when senior experienced pros for Liverpool, who've been brilliant for years, are not playing well either. Ben and your chemistry is good. Keep up the good banter, says Neil. Thank you very much. And Martinez, Man United vice captain next season, says Raz. Well, he is a leader. There's no doubt about that. Here's Salah on the wing. Nice ball into Trent. Cross back is good, but Doucouré's in a good position. And it's a terrible pass by Doucouré, but there was an offside. And we'll go back. You can't buy a can of Lilt anymore, says Randy. I haven't had Lilt for ages. I used to love Lilt. Forest Gamer says, what are your thoughts on Bristol City? Do you think they'll ever make the Premiership? No. No, because I think this has been going on for most of my life. Will we ever get a team from Bristol in the top division? And they never do it. Bristol Rovers or City. I don't know what it is. Bristol's a funny place, isn't it? I mean, it's a big city in the UK that's sort of irrelevant when it comes to sport. Like they should have what I'm trying to say is that Bristol should have a Premier League football side, and they've never had it in my life. And I don't really know why. I don't really know much about Bristol either. BLS says it's full of lefties. I don't know about that, but it is odd how they've never had a Premier League side. Why doesn't a multi-millionaire like Bristol? You know. Is it weird having two names, Mark? I'm guessing that your family and friends don't call you Mark, says Red. I get asked this all the time. I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me. I react to both or ignore both. What if the Chiefs lost the game based on that call? I bet you the NFL media would come hard on that ref. Sucks, but it was the right call, Mahomes, says Sulla. I think it was the wrong call. But saw the clip with the Leeds fan yesterday. Have you seen it, says Benjamin? Nope. J4 says it's same with Exeter and Plymouth. No, it's not. Plymouth's nowhere near as big as bloody Bristol. Come on, stop begging. That's like comparing bloody Harvey Barnes to Messi. Come on. Bristol's massive. Glenn says Bristol City was in Division 1 when I was kid. I don't remember Bristol ever being in the top league in my lifetime. I've never seen a Panini book with Bristol in it. Here's McNeil. Half an hour gone. This game's definitely going the way many of us predicted it. Draw. It's got a draw written all over it at the moment. I saw the Chelsea fan get knocked out. Yeah. Although he seemed to be doing all right in the hospital, didn't he? Pissing his mother off. And I saw the person who did it get arrested. So people say chat shit, get banged. Bang someone, get banged up. Whether people think he deserves it or not, you will get banged up, and I'd be worried if I was that lad as well, because that clip went viral. You know, you show that in courts, and some people will say that the Chelsea lad was acting a complete twat, and I'd probably agree with it, but he doesn't see that punch coming. He hasn't got his arm up. I think it's a bit of a, I mean, it depends on the angle, doesn't it? It's a bit like the Casemiro thing, but to me it looks like he just walks up and hits him, and the lad's not expecting it. So, you know, he could be looking at some jail time for that. Thoughts on Southampton, and who do you think they should get, and what? That was never a holding call, says Steve-O. Southampton, if I was a Southampton fan, I wouldn't even be blaming Nathan Jones. As soon as they appointed Nathan Jones, I thought that's it, they're relegated. You know, no matter how good Nathan Jones is as a coach, I'm sure many of you in the chat agree with me. When they appointed him, I thought, well, that's not very inspiring. They're going to go out. They're going to go down. And who is there available that you... I just can't see Southampton staying up. And they're talking about Jesse March. I can't see them staying up. I can't see it. I think that's a relegation no matter who. Hi Mark, do you think the Super League is going to happen and his fans will just have to accept it? Love the content, says Jack. Well, history shows us that these people are quite powerful and they probably will win, but I would hope that the fans can stop it. Mark, do you think United can get second this season? Been really happy with the mentality recently and Rashford's energy, says Dara. I don't know. I think United at the moment are defying logic, and it's exciting. So let's keep saying, let's see. Everton need to score if they want to win, says Raz. Cracking insight there. Mark, do you rate Gakpo? I don't think we've seen the best of Gakpo yet, and I don't think we've seen the best of Nunez, and we're not seeing the best of Salah at the moment. So I don't think it's a fair reflection of what Liverpool are. Would you like to be on the new Fawlty Towers show? Well, I would, but I don't think they should be doing a new Fawlty Towers series because everybody in it's dead, apart from John Cleese. Manuel's dead. In real life, you can't bring him back. Sybil, I think she's got Alzheimer's in real life, so... Hi Mark, you recently said that Chelsea fans shouldn't go for Potter out since we only conceded one in the last 4. However, he doesn't know what to do if the opponent switches tactics or concedes a goal, says Fru. Well, I saw something today from David Ornstein, and I thought I really liked it, that Chelsea's stance is that this is not about the next few months, it's about the next few years. So whether you like it or not, Chelsea fans, I think, you know, you're not going to force the manager out, get behind him, and let's see where you are in a year. Hi Mark, can you shed some light on our squad situation for the Barcelona game? Says Rick. Apparently, well, Martinez is definitely out because he's suspended, and apparently Sabitzer is as well. Samuel's talking to me about the F1. When does the F1 start? 13th of February today, so when does it start? Luke Jones says, drove up to York last week for Happy Hour Live. Shame you went there. Felt the show could have done with a man in his mid-40s having a fall, says Luke Jones. I was meant to go and watch that actually in Birmingham. I did have a ticket, but unfortunately Man United had a game on the Wednesday night, so I couldn't go. But well, I hope you're going to drive to one of our shows in the international break. Formula One's back on March the 5th. Bring it on. That's brilliant. I thought it was like the end of March. Chin says, do you celebrate Valentine's Day? No. It got me. It used to get too tiring, you know. I basically just refuse post now because I was getting a bad back from, you know, having to bend over and get all the cards off the floor. Cheers, Mark. Thanks to you. FIFA Career Mode is controlling my life. Antworth FC are going to the top. Oh, you can't beat a good FIFA Creator Club mode. I must admit I didn't enjoy this year's one as much as last year's, but it's still good. And Simon says, Mark, I watched the Chelsea game this past weekend and I'm so gutted we didn't listen to Rangnick because Enzo is an amazing player. He absolutely dominated Rice in that game, says Simon. Thank you very much, Simon, for the super chat. March the 5th for F1, great. I thought end of it as well, says Louise. I know, I can't believe that F1's back on March the 5th. Brilliant, bring it on. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, as you can see, in the top left-hand corner, we're on 900k, on the road to 1 million subscribers. Got a fantastic, growing, thriving community here. Get involved with it. You're all welcome. Henderson's got to go, says Trotters. I was just going to have a look at the stats, actually. We're about 10 minutes out from half-time. 0-0 in this game. And as Merseyside derbies go, that's... It's not been great so far. But Liverpool have had more of the possession, 64%, but only one shot on target for them. No shots on target for Everton. It's been a dull derby so far. But they nearly just scored. Tarkowski, McNeil. Oh, Tarkowski's just hit the post. Goldbridge jinx is still a thing. Tarkowski from across. And now it's Salah. And it's 1-0 to Liverpool on the break. You would not believe it. Knock, knock. Is it Wood? Tarkowski hit Wood. But Wood don't play for Daichi anymore. And that Wood has helped Liverpool. Because Liverpool have taken that rebound off the Wood and hit on the break. And Mo Salah goes and scores. Who would have believed it, hey? The Wood has not helped Sean Dyche out. The corner came in. Tarkowski heads it. He hits the post. And Liverpool break fast with Nunez down the left-hand side. A sea of red in the centre as he crosses it in. And I don't know what Pickford's doing there. Talk about crap goalkeeping. What the bloody hell is Pickford doing here? Is he off to do his Christmas shop? What's he doing? Why is he not in the centre of the goal? He looks absolute crap. Don't tell me Pickford's a goalkeeper. Pickford, England #1. Absolute rubbish. Rubbish. What is he doing there? His positioning is dreadful. Well, that's the story there. That's the story there. The cross comes in, and he's gone to his back post, and then Salah's centre, and just passes it into an empty net. It's completely misread the cross. Idiot. Liverpool lead 1-0 with Salah. There we go. Really bad goalkeeping. Really bad goalkeeping. And unlucky. Unlucky for Everton because they hit the post. What do you think about that, Sean Dyche? I can't believe it. Wood's let me down. All the things I've done for Wood. And Tarkowski. It's Wood. And he bloody goes and outs Liverpool. Traitor. Sean Dyche like a diamond. Chris Wood like a Pratt. They basically hit the post, Wood. I don't know what Pickford was doing last night, but it's 1-0 to Liverpool here. The funny thing is, I just tweeted, bit of a dull derby, so I've jinxed it. I don't know how this works, but I tend to tweet something and then something happens very, very quickly straight after. But Liverpool are buoyant now. Champions League final predictions, Mark. It's hard to predict, Juan, but I've gone with Bayern. So I suppose Bayern Real Madrid final, maybe? Hi, Mark. You're covering all the Champions League this week. Also, do you believe we'll go through to the next round? Says Ryan. Yeah, tomorrow night we're doing the Champions League watch-along on here. We'll be doing a double watch-along because we'll have Spurs Milan on, but the main game I'm watching is Bayern against PSG. Wednesday night we'll do... I'll keep an eye on Chelsea's Dortmund, but mainly it's Man City Arsenal. And then Thursday night on that United stand. So 3 nights on here of watch-alongs. Nice ball into Sims, but Gomez does well. As I say, Liverpool are feeling confident now. Time for a bit of a stretch. Oh, I'd love, Dougie, I'm with you. I'd love to see Napoli do well. I'd love it. Mark, can you do F1 watch-alongs or boxing? I'll do some of the boxing, Leroy. Got any good fights coming up? I'm still waiting for this bloody Fury Usyk fight. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Dylan says I think Napoli will win it. Don't write Napoli off. I mean they're storming the Serie A league title at the moment. Ooh. Shout out to Sally in the chat. Hope you're doing well. When's Jake Paul against Tommy Fury? It's Saturday, isn't it? I don't trust those fights. I don't trust those fights so much. I don't trust them whether I'm right or not. I don't trust that they're real. I don't think they're real. I think it's pantomime. I think it's boxing crossed with WWE. Am I playing Hogwarts Legacy? No, Matt, I'm not. Do I think Everton will stay up? Well, to be honest with you, I think any Everton fan, when you had Arsenal and Liverpool as Dyche's first games, and if I said you can have 3 points, you'd have took it. I don't think these sort of games are the games that are going to keep you up. You should box Jake next, Mark, says Dylan. Everton's next few games are quite interesting. So Everton at the moment have got 18 points. They're in the bottom three. They're joint with Bournemouth. They're 1 point off Leeds. And they're 2 points off West Ham. But they're 5 points off Wolves and 6 points off Forest. So Everton really, it's all about their next few games. Well, their next few games, they've got Leeds at home on Saturday, which is absolutely massive. Everton Leeds on Saturday is huge. Like, you lose that, I know there's a lot of games to go, but then they've got Villa at home the week after. And then they've got Arsenal away again for some reason. And then they've got Forest away, Brentford at home, Chelsea away. So it's not impossible for Everton to go down, is what I'm trying to say, but I do think Dyche will keep them up. Interesting thing for Liverpool is they're playing Newcastle on Saturday afternoon. If Newcastle can win that I think that's basically Liverpool's top four hopes gone. Villa have got Arsenal on Saturday lunchtime. Could be a bad week for Arsenal, you know. Villa at Villa Park, that'll be tough. So shine bright tonight. Mark, have you played The Last of Us? Says Eddie. No, I haven't. Lots of people always said I should play it, but I haven't. As you can see, Salah's got the ball on his shoulder. That means he's the scorer. It's 1-0 to Liverpool. We've got 3 minutes to go to half-time. Everton, a little bit unlucky to be 1-0 down here. They hit the post from a corner. Last week, it was the same player who scored against Arsenal. And then Liverpool broke away. And Jordan Pickford seemed to lose his ability to keep. You can stand under my umbrella. Ella. If someone put a gun against your head, what would your choice be? Brexit or no Brexit? Asking as the consequences of Brexit have been dreadful so far, says Donald. At the time, I never told anybody what I voted for because it was such a, it was 50-50 in the UK. But I'm happy to say now, I actually voted against Brexit. And the reason I voted against Brexit wasn't that I was against the idea of it. I voted against it because I didn't trust the story. I didn't know enough about what was going to happen. It's a little, it's a very similar thing if you bring it back to football. It's like these United fans who want Sir Jim Radcliffe to be the owner of Man United just because he supports the club. But what if he's borrowing money? I'm not going to vote for something I don't know enough detail on. And with Brexit, I didn't know enough detail. And ultimately, I was right because the 350 million quid that was going to the NHS on the bus was a load of bollocks. So I didn't vote for something that I didn't really understand what they were going to do. Not that I was against the idea, I just didn't have enough information. And it's the same reason I won't sit here and say I want Qatar or I want Sir Jim Radcliffe, because I don't know what the intentions of these owners are. And I don't want to be held accountable in a few years' time when people go, well, you wanted it and now they're rubbish. Well, I haven't said what I want because I don't know what I want. And ultimately, it doesn't matter what I want. Right, we've got about a minute, only a minute added on here. And it's 1-0 to Everton. It's not, it's 1-0 to Liverpool. Shine bright like a diamond. Sean Dyche like a diamond. Sean Dyche like a diamond. Right. You know you don't want the Glazers. I don't want the Glazers, Stephen. And I keep saying that. I think anything's better than the Glazers, isn't it? So what's your thoughts on the start to this game? My general thoughts on it are, and we'll go through it and get your thoughts at half time, but my general thoughts on this game is that, if I'm completely honest, I don't think Liverpool have looked any better than the trouncings they've got against Brighton and Wolves. I think for a home performance, they've not been very convincing at all. They've not been very convincing, have they? But they are 1-0 up in what has been a lot closer than you would expect it to be when you look at the squads that are out there. Oh, Nunez, good volley, good block. And then Gomez shoots. Do you think player stats are overrated and don't reflect the quality of a player, as the generation of fans use stats to discredit Maradona and Pele, says Cal? I'll tell you something about stats. I'll tell you something about stats for you now. Half time, by the way. We'll talk about whether Liverpool can get top four and what this means for Liverpool here. But Cal makes a good point about stats. Let me just stop the clock here. I think stats have their place in football. You know, there are certain players that I like to compare on the stats I use because forward passing, completion rates, etc. But I don't think stats can exclusively be used. And I think we're going through an era at the moment where you see a lot of people doing a lot of statistical analysis. And what's their credibility for that other than opinion? You know, they'll do they'll take clips off the game and they'll go, oh, this is why this manager's so good. Look at the way this player does this. Oh, look at the movement here. Yeah, you've taken 5 seconds from a 90-minute game to make it work in the way you think it works. It's very subjective tactics. But what about those tactics that are actually, you know, there on the you can't speak? What about those stats that can't speak, can't lie? You know, I'm talking about these sort of things here, these sort of stats. You know, what do we think about these sort of stats and things that are listed off there, like possession and this, that, and the other, and the individual player stats as well? Well, the reason they're dangerous is because you can't go and scout a player on stats. You know, you can't go and scout a player because without watching them because their pass succession rate is 92%, or they had 10 defensive duels and they won 80% of them. Where would Paolo Maldini factor into that? Paolo Maldini always said that I didn't believe in tackling because if you're tackling, that means you made a mistake positional. Imagine if you played against Paolo Maldini in his prime. I'd imagine managers would say attack the right back because the left back's too good. And also, Maldini's game as a left back or a centre back was always about being in the right position so he didn't need to tackle. So Maldini's stats in relation to defensive duels and percentage won probably wouldn't stack up to somebody far worse than him. Because where's the fear factor as a stat? Where does it, you know, maybe the right back for AC Milan had more tackles and won more tackles than Maldini, but maybe that was because the opposition manager told his team to go down the left-hand side and go up, get at the right back because the left back's too good. You see what I mean? Stats can be distorted. They're not the be-all and the end-all. And I think you should always consider that. Stats sort of, they go hand in hand with ball knowledge, basically. And And it'd be a very dangerous and sad future in football if people became over-reliant on stats, because there's certain players who are stat resistant, in the sense that Maldini didn't make 50 tackles a game and win them all. He probably made less tackles than players who were a lot worse than him, because he was positioned right and the opposition wouldn't attack him because they were scared of him. So they'd go down the other side. But people don't think about it like that. And also, passing completion rate. Harry Maguire had a bad passing game for Man United yesterday, but overall his pass completion rate was really high because he made 99% of his passes were probably sideways for 5 yards. Well, they're always going to make it, aren't they? What's Dyche going to be saying in the locker room, says Jack? And can you do a ranking of all Premier League teams based on who you think is in the run best? Can be very good debate for you in the chat, says Jack. And call me deluded, but I think we'll get top four. As remember that season we had like 7 players injured and came third from ninth, says Nathan. Look, let's talk about the game a little bit. Do I think Everton will stay up? Yes, I do. I don't think they'll stay up comfortably when you look at the league table, but I do think they'll stay up. Do I think if they lose this game, it's the end of the world? No, because you got 3 points against Arsenal, and Dyche's first 2 games were Arsenal and Liverpool, and I think if he was offered 3 points, he'd take it. I do think Everton will stay up, but I think it'll be close. Darren says Maguire's stats: wins 9 headers out of 10, but his head is twice the size as most footballers, says Darren. Well, I don't think he's very good in the air, to be fair. Roy Keane, one of the best captains ever. Some of his best traits can't be measured by stats either, says Ryan Melex. That's what I mean. I think the modern football fan, I see it on TikTok, I see it on Twitter, they're getting obsessed with these people who statistically analyse games and do little clips and go, oh, look at this happening, look at that. There's nothing wrong with that, but if somebody says, look at the way the right back moves here and inverts so that it can overlap, I guarantee you I'll find a clip in the next 10 minutes where he doesn't invert and looks like a traditional right back. And that's what I mean. It's so subjective, and it can be quite, dangerous in the wrong hands. And also, I don't think stats is exclusively the way to analyse football. I'd say stats is probably 30% of it, and 70% of it is actual, consumer knowledge, ball knowledge. Most Premier League clubs still employ and send numerous scouts out to scout a player with their own eyes rather than using data systems. They use data systems, but actually going and watching players multiple times with traditional scouting systems is still predominant. Hi Mark, I just wanted to give you a shout out for your work ethics as Yusuf. Your consistency is second to none. What's your secret? I wish you the best, mate. And you too, pal. Thank you very much. Mark, what do you think Liverpool will finish this season? Also, I'm a United fan looking forward to the Barcelona game. Are you worried? No, I'm really excited about it, Govind. Let's go back to Liverpool and will they get top 4? Right, will Liverpool get top 4? So I've always said, look at Pickford. I mean, what is Jordan Pickford doing there? He looks a complete and utter prat. The cross comes in, Salah makes connection with it, level with the penalty spot, and Pickford's moved to the other side to anticipate a cross to the back post. It's terrible goalkeeping. Absolute. That's Wild West defending. That's what I called Wild West defending. Cowboy defending. He may as well put a cowboy hat on and a gun belt and start shooting his water pistols, because it's cowboy defending. Wild, Wild West. It's the Wild, Wild West. Relying on stats is like colouring a picture without drawing an outline. Doesn't show the full picture, says Catherine. Thank you very much. Brilliant little analogy there. Do I think Liverpool will get top 4? Right, let's have a look at the league table as it stands. We've looked at the stats there. Let's have a look at the league table as it stands, because I think that most logical people will say that Liverpool will not get top 4. However, when you look at that league table there, Liverpool are currently in 9th. As it stands, they've got 32 points. With this win, they'd have 32 points. What does that do? That puts them 9 points behind Newcastle with a game in hand. If they win that game in hand, which they have to, that would put them on 36 points. That would put them 7th, and that would put them 6 points behind Newcastle. They're playing Newcastle on Saturday at 5:30. We'll do a watch-along for that. Basically, Liverpool need to win their game in hand, but they're not playing that before Newcastle. Liverpool have got to win tonight, and they've got to beat Newcastle, and then they've got a chance of top 4. The problem with Liverpool at the moment is, and the reason I would agree with everyone who says they won't get it, is because their consistency is terrible, and it's not like they're playing really well again tonight. They've got some really good players to come back, but I think it's up in the air with Liverpool as to whether they'll get top 4. They did do this a couple of years ago where everyone wrote them off and they still did it. Newcastle at the moment are struggling. They're drawing a lot. So you're not catching Man United, I don't think. I think Man United are home and hosed for top 4, which is great. But I do think Newcastle might be vulnerable for Liverpool, and that might be the position they're looking at. But they can't draw. They've got to go to Newcastle and win on Saturday evening. And if they do that, top 4's back on. What I would say is good luck for your birthday tomorrow, Bath. Happy birthday. What I would say is I've got a bet on with Ben Foster that Liverpool will get top 4, and I'm not. He asked me today, are you willing to concede the bet? And I said, logically, it doesn't look like Liverpool are going to get top 4, but I'm not going to concede the bet because I bet it thinking Liverpool will get top 4, and I still think there's a chance they can. So Liverpool are one of the only 2 teams in this Premier League that I know for a fact can go and win 10 games in a row. I don't think they will be doing that this year, but they are capable of doing it because they've got a lot of players who've done it, and they've still got the same manager who did it. 98k to 1 million mark. Yes, please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner, get involved with the channel. We're on the road to 1 million. Fantastic community. Can't believe how many people we had watching the Super Bowl last night. 10k for 4 hours. It was a brilliant stream, and I can't wait to go to bed. What's this new trend of making active players pundits, says Pat? Well, what do you lot think about that? You know, I can have an opinion, but it might be completely not what everyone else thinks. I'll still have it, but doesn't mean I'm never afraid, and I don't think anybody should be afraid to have an opinion that not a lot of people agree with. You know, I was sat in front of 200 people on Friday night, and somebody said, who do you think will be the next English player to win the Ballon d'Or? And everyone was going Bellingham. And I said, logically, at the moment, it's Rashford, because he's scoring goals consistently, will be in the Champions League next year. United look like they might be title contenders next year. If he keeps scoring the goals, there's no reason why he wouldn't. Why would you not be a Ballon d'Or contender if you're scoring goals for Manchester United in the Champions League and winning titles? I'm not saying Rashford deserves to win a Ballon d'Or. I'm just saying at the moment he would be an interesting outside one. But nobody will agree with me on that, and I don't really care. I know the logic, and that's why I would say it could happen. But what I would say is, it's of course it's always going to be, you should always hold on to your opinion, because if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. Stats say that Varane is bad, so stats mean nothing. Also, what are your thoughts on people saying Stones is the best centre-back in the Prem? Says, I can't say that name, but I'll say Devils. Makes me want to throw up. It's not your fault. I think John Stones is a good centre-back, but I don't think he's the best in the Premier League. I might be crazy, but I do really see Liverpool getting top 4, says Jack. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see, won't we? I did ask you, what do you think about ex-players being pundits? I think it's a bit like stats, I think everybody just thinks because I've played the game that you know what you're on about. And I think it's been going on for a long time. I personally, and I know a lot of people wouldn't like this, but again, it's my opinion. I reckon I could sit on Match of the Day with Alan Shearer and Ian Wright, and they probably wouldn't like it, and they'd probably be like, you haven't played the game. But I just did it today. Football fill-in today. I'm sat with Darren Bent, who's scored over 100 Premier League goals, and Ben Foster, who's played loads of games in the Premier League, and I'm sat with them talking about the weekend's games. And they were absolutely no problem with it, and we had a good debate, and it was great. Point proved. I don't see the obsession with constantly getting ex-players, because it's been proven some ex-players are very good and can offer really good insight and ball knowledge, but a lot of them, they're getting a career because they used to play the game, and their takes are abysmal, but they get the jobs, and I don't care. I'm doing absolutely well, thank you, and I enjoy what I do. I don't really have a massive passion to want to go and sit on Match of the Day, because that would take me away from you good people in the community that we've got. But I think I, and many of you, could sit on there and do a better job than some of these ex-players. And as I say, some of them are all right, but some of them, a lot of them, are dreadful. And they get given... It's just an archaic system. It's a bit like... in the olden days, in the bad olden days, people used to give most of the jobs to males, and females were seen as second-class citizens. That used to happen. It was completely wrong. And now, thankfully, in the modern day, that doesn't happen. And society hasn't crumbled. In fact, it's got better, and work output has got better. And I think in football, I'm not comparing it to sexism, but I do think there is a complete and utter nepotism around the exclusivity of all the pundits always being ex-players. It's nonsense. There's people out there who read the game fantastically well. There's some really good analysers of football who don't play the game, have never played the game. And when you're looking at someone like Tim Sherwood say Pedro Porro wasn't even that good at Benfica, well, he wasn't because he didn't bloody pay for them. Or you got Jamie Carragher or Graham Souness, Martinez, saying he's going to be bad because he's 5'10". I mean, that's cutting edge analysis, isn't it? He's not going to work in the Premier League because he's 5'10". Never watched him, have you? Never watched him in your bloody lives. Haven't got a bloody clue, and you're being paid to come out with that sort of nonsense. And that's what frustrates people. It's the lazy, uneducated opinion, but I get away with it because I've won titles when I used to play the game. Well, you're not playing the game now. No one's asking you to go on the middle of the pitch and do a couple of keep-ups. We're asking you to use your gob and analyse football, and you don't do it very well. You don't do it very well. You don't need to be an ex-player to analyse football. You do not. You don't. And I think a lot of people are starting to wake up to that, apart from these TV companies who just don't get it. And on top of that, they're not naturally as entertaining as we are either. So they haven't got the ball knowledge and they haven't got the entertainment value. So this is why they're suffering, and that's why more and more people are watching things like this, which is great because we end up building a community where we can just watch football and talk about it in our own way. And I much prefer this to some of the crap that you hear on Match of the Day anyway, or anything else. It's Louis. The players are coming out here. I would love to see someone else than Jamie and Carragher and Gary Neville. They rinse and repeat opinions and constantly contradict themselves. They also got someone in their ear, and they've also got someone giving them scripts. Remember, I've been on Sky. I've cleared the game. I've been on Sky. I do talk sport. You do get fed a lot of information. That's not people just sitting there like we do, just having a chat. Loving the show anyway. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're ready to go for the second half. Can I just remind you, tired bridge. Let me just start the clock. There we go. Can I just remind you that we're sponsored by Sneak. Scan the QR code next to me. Sneak energy drinks. You can get one of these and 9 different sachets in a starter pack. Those 9 sachets will be 9 different flavours that you select from about 30. You've got Tropicilla, Purple Storm, I'm on the Cherry Bomb. They've got Electric Mango, Blue Raspberry. Loads of lovely flavours you can try as part of the starter pack. Delivered to your door. Next day delivery if you live in the UK, but they do ship worldwide to some countries as well. Please use the code SNEAKBRIDGE. Low calorie, sugar free energy drinks. You don't want loads of calories and you don't want loads of sugar in your energy drinks. And it's been an absolute... I wouldn't have survived today without my Sneak because I only had 3 hours sleep last night. So check them out. Lovely flavours if you're into your energy drinks. They do fizzy drinks as well. Blue Raspberry, Purple Storm are delicious flavours, fizzy. I mean, they're very nice as still, but they're very, very nice fizzy. Check it out. Please use the code SNEAKBRIDGE. Right, we're away for the second half here. Well, the super chat come in as well. Makes you wonder if some pundits do it on purpose. They try to play the pantomime villain, says Glennie. Mate, I'm not going to name shows, and I'm not going to name... To be fair, there's some YouTube channels that do this with panels as well. I'm not going to name them because it just comes across as bitchy, and that's not my point. I'm not, if I say I don't like a certain show or a certain channel or a certain YouTube channel or Twitch channel, I'll tell you it. If I want to do that, I'll tell you it. I'm not bothered about that. But what I will say, it's not exclusive to the mainstream. A lot of these panel shows you see, the reason they're wearing why they're wearing headphones? Why they're wearing headphones when there's 3 people with them? Do me and Ben Foster wear headphones when we're talking? No. Why they got earpieces in? You know why they got earpieces in and headphones? Because people are talking in their ear going, now would be a good time to talk about whether Marcus Rashford's better than Saka. You know why they do that? Because then that little 2-minute section is being clipped for the socials as they do it. It's manipulative. Look, the topic, the conversations they have are relevant. People want to hear it. People want to talk about it. But it's very structured and scripted in the way that it's not natural. Nobody goes suddenly, let's talk about Rashford and Saka. It's like, now let's talk about Rashford and Saka. It's all very methodical and structured because they know what they want to get out of it. And I've lost my bigger point now. But that definitely happens. I don't do that. I can't even find my bloody pen. So I can't write down topics. That's why we couldn't do a poll at half time. Brentford's manager hasn't played the game. He obviously shouldn't be coaching, let alone be a pundit, according to many people. That's a great point, Jameson Gray. Warfighter, I don't do the same. I haven't got any notes. I'm just sat here. I'm just a guy sat in front of you, wanting you to like me. I don't use scripts. Why would I use a script? I've got 14,000 people asking questions and making great points. 2-0, and it's Gakpo's first goal for Liverpool. There it is, 2-0 to Liverpool, and that's probably game over. Gakpo, 2-0. Is that his first goal in a Liverpool shirt? He probably won't score an easier one if he plays till he's 90. 2-0, and it's Trent Alexander-Arnold with another goal. And that's Gakpo, game over. Just so simple. And Daichi will be furious. Wessex Mercy has got an interesting point on stats, but look at this. Salah, there might be a look of offside on that. I'd hold it for a moment. They might go for offside. They are checking an offside. He's miles on. He's bloody miles on. There ain't no way he's offside. Miles on. 1-0. Wessex says the room with the most deaths in the house is the bedroom. However, the bedroom is not dangerous, which shows stats can be deceiving. There we go. 2-0 here. I've just remembered what my bigger point was now. Somebody said, do you think some of these ex-players, etc., say things for effect? Well, we know they do. We know we do. It happens on YouTube channels as well. That's what I mean. It's in their ear. They have meetings before the show starts. Remember, I've been on some of these things. They have meetings before the show starts. Let's talk about this, and this. Oh, this will generate a lot of interest. So, of course it goes on, you know. And then when you have those meetings, people know they're going to happen. So then they go, oh, we're going to talk about this in half an hour. I'm going to say something ridiculous because I want to, you know, I want to get, you know, people talking about me. So, you know, I could easily start this show. I could easily be like, my whole big takeaway from this show, I want someone to clip me up because I'm going to say Jurgen Klopp's a fraud. He's basically a German Gareth Southgate. Imagine if I said that. It would go. It would there'd definitely be loads of people talking about it. They'd be calling me a knobhead, but it would work. Yeah, they rehearse on Monday Night Football Day. I mean, it surprises me that people wouldn't think that it's quite scripted because that's what mainstream TV is. I went down to Sky. God, I've been doing this so many years now. I always feel like it's a couple of years ago. I think it was probably about 5 years ago. I went down to Sky on transfer deadline day. And I was really excited about it. I've never been to Sky before. Let's go and do it. So I went down on transfer deadline day. I got on for 10 minutes twice in the whole 12 hours. And you just, it's just so, it's so formulaic. It's so structured. It's so many, there's so many, you know, you've got makeup, you've got audio. It's just, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. You know, tonight, I was 5 minutes late because I was trying to find out where Seb's elephant was to go to bed, and he wasn't happy about going to bed without his elephant. Where's Nelly? Good name for an elephant. He's like, where's Nelly? And I'm like, yeah, if I was on Sky, I wouldn't be able to bloody do that. I'd have had to leave at midday. Bedwetter says that's the first assist of the season for Trent. You're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. I love that cliche though. You hit that's I love football cliches. Love football cliches. And I've heard this one so many times. When anyone scores a tap in, the commentator will go, and that's Gakpo with his first goal for Liverpool. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter how long he plays for Liverpool. He could play till he's 92 and he'll never score an easier goal. Joa says that Everton are going to get relegated if they continue like this. No. This is a this is what you call a free hit. You want to do well because it's a Merseyside derby, but Liverpool at Anfield, you know, Everton are in the bottom three. You look at the players that Liverpool have got, the home advantage. Yes, a derby's always a great leveller, but I don't think this suggests that, you know, losing this sort of game means you're going to go down. And let's not forget, Joe, Tarkowski, they were nearly on the path to what they did to Arsenal last week. You know, Arsenal had a lot of the ball, couldn't break them down, get a corner, Tarkowski scores, fight for your life, hold on, 1-0. If Tarkowski scores that goal and doesn't hit the post, Liverpool don't break away and go 1-0 up. Everton go 1-0 up, probably 1-0 at half time. Liverpool get more panicky. Everton hold their depth. They keep their lines. They maybe make a 1-0 win. Football's about fine margins. I don't think if Liverpool win this 2 or 3-0, it means that Everton are going to go down under Daichi. I just think football's about fine margins sometimes. And literally, Liverpool have got control of this game because of crap goalkeeping by Pickford and, you know, a bit unlucky with the post. But then again, it's not unlucky, is it? Because post is not a goal. I think Liverpool-Newcastle on Saturday becomes absolutely huge. And King says they won't beat Newcastle. Stephen says you sound like Ollie with saying fine margins. I don't sound like Ollie at all. If you want me to sound like Ollie, it's Karaki. Football is about fine margins. Me and Karaki, obviously, we talk on the phone. Karaki, we're talking about fine margins. They're talking about fine margins. Karaki, you got to go out there. Fine margins. If you lose the first half, then the lads, we go out in the second half and we can win the second half. We don't get any points, but fine margins. I miss Ollie in a way. Well, I don't actually. I don't mean that. I mean, I just think he's such a nice guy and, well, he's a legend. He's a legend. So many Man United fans. We love Ollie, but managing at that level is just not for him, is it? Does anybody actually believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is good enough to coach in the Premier League as well? Because I keep seeing him he got linked to the Everton job. I think people were having a joke. Here's Salah. And Henderson's cross isn't good. I think as a striking coach, he'd be very good, MKF. He's not a manager at the highest level. But you know what? You've made a brilliant point there. Look at Benny McCarthy and look at the impact. I was talking to Darren Bent about this today. I can't remember if it was said on the Football Fill-In. I think we did ask it on the Football Fill-In. Check it out on Ben Foster's channel, the Football Fill-In today. It was a really good episode. But I asked him, because Darren Bent's record in the Premier League is very, very good. Whatever you think about him, he scored a lot of goals in the Premier League, and obviously he's a striker. Traditional striker as well, not really a link-up player. He's goal box, penalty box striker. And I asked him about Rashford, and I said, look, specifically his heading. He's scoring really good headers. Any United fan will tell you that for the last 5 years, a cross hits Marcus Rashford's head and it's just hitting his head, he's closing his eyes. And, basically a lot of credit was given to Benny McCarthy, obviously to Rashford himself for the hard work and Ten Hag, but Benny McCarthy as the attacking coach has probably had a massive part to play. And I think Solskjaer in that sort of role would be really good. I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, talk about analysing a game. Even in his 20s, Solskjaer was well known at United for the reason he was so good as a sub is because he analysed the game. He was analysing the defenders. He was analysing where the space was. He was analysing the movement of the goalkeeper. So he could come on with 10 minutes to go and score a couple of goals because he was methodical at analysing it. I think as a striking coach, he'd have a lot to offer. Stephen says, I don't know why people criticise young players on social media. I did feel sorry for Garnacho and I'm happy he scored Ten Hag, Red Army. I don't know why either, Stephen. I don't know, especially when they're right at the start of the career. It happened to Tahith Chong as well. I don't get it. There's nothing wrong with criticising footballers, but young players who are just starting out, it's not the best. Emma's just subscribed, thank you very much. Football Lover says the Everton board are at the game today. Is that why is that relevant? Oh, because they haven't been going, have they? They don't dare go to Goodison. Thoughts on who gets promoted from the Championship? I don't even know what the situation is in the Championship. But, Burnley are going to get promoted. They are nearly 20 points clear of third. So Burnley will get promoted. Sheffield United will get promoted because they're 10 points clear of third. And then Carricky with Middlesbrough in third. Playoffs are dodgy though. I think the playoffs are hilarious because you can finish third and be 30 points ahead of sixth, and then they can knock you out. It's all about form going into the playoffs, but I mean, Luton are in the playoffs at the moment. There's a lot of teams. Here's Nunez. Good save by Pickford. Side netting. I think you know what? I've always been in the minority with this, and I don't even know what Liverpool fans think, but I wanted Darwin Nunez to come to Man United. Ten Hag wanted him to come to Man United. I think he, look at he's playing at number 9 for Man United at the moment. Bless him. It's Wout Weghorst from bloody Burnley. I'd have loved Darwin Nunez. I think he's very raw. I think he's probably come to the Premier League a year early, but you've got to make that signing because if you hadn't, someone else would have made it. I think he's got a lot of potential. I like Nunez. He's a chance magnet as well. He's one of those players. He's like Garnacho. It doesn't always work out, but things happen with him. I'm not slanging off Weghorst. I like him, but he's limited. He's doing his best, and we're lucky to have him because if we didn't have him, what would we do? And he's Harry Potter's best mate, says Candy, yeah. Is it game over with half an hour to go and 2-0? I think this lad up front that Everton are playing, Sims, he's like a wish Calvert-Lewin, isn't he? He's 6'3". He moves around like Calvert-Lewin. But I think the Everton centre-backs, the Liverpool centre-backs so far have had a very easy night. And they haven't had an easy night for a long time. I mean, it's been a long time that you'd say Liverpool are going to get a clean sheet. And tonight, they really should. I think Daichi needs to change it up a bit. But he likes a big man up front. I like Wood. Yeah, we're not having Wood. I love Wood up front. So, yeah, I think Everton just don't look to have any attacking threat, really. Nunez is Timo Werner 2.0. I think they're completely different, Louis. I think Nunez will offer. I think when Liverpool sort their midfield out, you'll start to see the best out of Nunez. Goldbridge, shut your mouth. There's nothing wrong with Wood up front. We all like Wood up front, don't we? I don't mean a cock. Can you do a Carrick impression, Jacob? I can't do Michael Carrick. He's a Geordie, isn't he? I can't really do Geordie. I can't really do any accents, really. Here comes Sims. He's coming off. Daichi must be listening. Get him off. Goldbridge says he's crap. Gray, get on. Don't disappoint me, or I will be chasing you tomorrow on the training ground with a bag of gravel. You won't like me when I'm angry. I'm a right shithouse. Just wide by Nunez. Yeah, you won't like me when I'm angry. I'll make you train all day so you're really sweaty. And then there'll be no hot water. You'll be having a cold shower. And I'll be sitting in a big, massive swimming pool of hot water. Eating my gravel. Not a bad effort by Nunez, that. Daniel Rote says, "What's your predictions for Wednesday night?" I can't wait for it, mate. I'm quite nervous about that game, and it's got no real. It's a bit like last night. I wanted the Eagles to win the NFL, and the Chiefs won it, I was a little bit disappointed, but I went to sleep within 5 minutes, and I won't think about it again. If Man City beat Arsenal on Wednesday, I'll be disappointed, but not massively disappointed, especially if Man City are the better team. Fair play. But I am nervous about it. I think Arsenal have got 2 really tough games. I don't think Villa away on Saturday is going to be easy. And your points could get eroded really, really quickly. Effectively, Arsenal have got to win that game. I don't care what anyone says. Here's Salah. Gets the shot off, but it's not got any power in it. They've got to win that game, Arsenal. At minimum, they've got to draw it. They can't lose it. I think if they lose it, that could be, because then I think what Man City will do is they'll go and win their next 10 games in a row. I mean, have you seen Man City's next 10 games in the Premier League? I don't want to sort of scare Arsenal fans, but their next run, please tell me where they're going to lose after Arsenal. They've got Forest away, Bournemouth away, Newcastle at home, Palace away, West Ham at home, Liverpool at home. I mean, Liverpool at home is probably their next difficult game. Arsenal. If Arsenal want to stop Man City, they've literally got to stop Man City on Wednesday. They can't rely on anyone else. Everton beat Arsenal because Deitch hates Jack as granite, says Golden Falcon. Thank you very much for your super chat there. What midfielder would you prefer at United, Bellingham or De Jong? Says MJ. I'd go Bellingham. Yeah, I'd go Bellingham for a multitude of reasons. Here's Salah down the right hand side corner. I'd go for Bellingham for a multitude of reasons. 1, he's younger. 2, I think he would suit United's speed a lot better. He's more box to box. 3, I think he's got more development in him. And 4, if he comes to Man United, it'll be because he wants to come to Manchester United, whereas De Jong doesn't want to come. Colin says, are you going to do more cooking with Goldbridge? I am. I've got a bloody new kitchen to do it in as well. Just need to get the time to do it. I will do cooking with Goldbridge. It's been so busy in January. There's so much going on. And I've got to sort this bloody tour out as well in March. So if you like going for Goldbridge, by the way, then get yourself along to one of our tour dates in Manchester and London, because it's going to be a little bit like that. I will be talking about football, but I'm also going to do a little bit of going for Goldbridge for about half an hour or so. So I've got some stories and stuff I'm going to do. So if you want to get yourself along, you're very welcome. I don't even know how many tickets there are left. I'm just going to have a quick look if we've got a link I can whack the chat in for you. I know we've got London left and still got London left and Manchester. Yeah, I've got a link now. And like I say, it doesn't really matter who you support. You're very welcome. London on Friday night was bloody brilliant on the Ben Foster. So I can't wait to do it live again. There we go. I've dropped it in the pinned in the chat if you want to get your tickets. Nice to see you. March international break. You don't want to be watching Southgate's England. Sabitzer is missing the first leg due to yellow card, says GG. Has that now been confirmed? Yeah. Stand up with Goldbridge was the best. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit of that. So if you want to be there, you're very welcome. Get your tickets. I'll see you in the March. Big up from Dublin, says Mark. Have you ever been? I lived there for 3 years, mate. Can't wait for the Dublin shows. Sold out in a couple of hours. 2 nights. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Mark, are you going to do a show about Elon Musk and Qatar? I didn't know there was anything going on about that. A bid from Qatar Investment Authorities in its entirety will come by the end of the week, in time for the deadline set by New York Merchant Bank selling the club. That's from Telegraph. If it marks a major development in the sale of the club, which the Glazer family have put on the market for around $5 billion. It's not yet clear how Qatar would square ownership of PSG. That is slow sports news. That is. Yeah, it's regurgitated news, that is. That's been going around for about 2 days now. I suppose people have to keep putting it around, though, don't they? Because the bids can't go until Friday. Seeing that Incy's under a bit of pressure as well. Okay, let's come back to the chat. What's your prediction for Sunday's Leicester game for United? I think we'll win, mate. I think Man United will win that. I think Leicester are in good form at the moment, but I fancy Man United to win that. Jackie, thanks for the super chat. He says, if Everton stay up and Burnley are promoted, I'll be really looking forward to Everton versus Burnley. Revenge of the Sean and return of the Deitch, says Jackie. Jota's coming on for Liverpool. Joseph says Bellingham would put Liverpool back on top, but hopefully we can get him because United are on fire at the moment. Love you, Mark. Thanks, pal. Thanks for that. And recently I googled you. How did you come up with Mark Goldbridge, the name, says Hasha. In about 30 seconds I needed to come up with a name, so messaged a mate who's quite good at we have quite a good back and forth banter, and we came back with that. It was going to be Silverbridge, and then we changed it to Goldbridge. I had to change it because of my name, because of the job I had. They wanted me to do it. Bellingham definitely going to Real. Sister, I hope Bellingham doesn't go to Real Madrid. You know, I really do hope he doesn't go to Real Madrid, because I think go to Real Madrid in your mid-20s. Come to the Premier League first. If you go to Real Madrid now, you might not. You might stay there for 6 or 7 years. Get to the Premier League. The Premier League is the best league in the world. Everybody knows that. Get yourself in the Premier League. I wouldn't be surprised if he did go to Real Madrid, but I'd have to say, why are you going to Real Madrid? Like, La Liga is never going to be the Premier League in the next 10 years. So get yourself in the Premier League. That's the place to be. All I can say about Bellingham is I've heard constantly for the last 6 months from very, very well-sourced Liverpool people that they're very confident about getting Bellingham. And that's not normal for Liverpool fans to be like that, but they are very confident. I would say, well, if he goes to Liverpool, he's going for the project, and he wants to go there because they might not be in the Champions League. So that would be a real positive for Liverpool. If he chooses Liverpool, it's because he wants to be part of that Liverpool project under Klopp. Where is the passion when you need it the most? Rather see him go to Real than Liverpool, says Joshua. Well, I would love Manchester United to get involved. I really, really would, but it ain't easy, bruv. We're only 10 subscribers away from 903,000, so please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for getting involved. You're very welcome on That's Football. We're doing watch-alongs every night this week. The next 3 nights on That's Football, and then obviously Barcelona, Man United on United Stand on Thursday. It's looking like it's going to be 3 big points for Liverpool here. Everton just not being able to get going as an offensive team, and ultimately, if you can't get a clean sheet and you can't score goals, you're not going to win games. I'm Sean Deitch, licensed to frill. Gonna have a sore throat tomorrow. I'll tell you what, I haven't yawned as much as I thought I would on this stream. So big shout out to Sneak. It's helped out, and so's the chat. Abdi, thanks for your first ever super chat there. Hope you're doing well. Going for Goldbridge will be coming back, Ollie, and I'm going to do a special Going for Goldbridge at all of the tour shows. So the tour shows will be about 2 hours with an interval. So I will talk about football and stuff, and it will be interactive for the crowd. But there will be a little going for Goldbridge section. I just don't know how long it will be, because I've always wanted to do it a little bit as, I wouldn't call it stand up, but you know what I mean. A bit of going for Goldbridge on stage. So if you want to be part of history, then I wouldn't say that. Be part of history. If you want to be part of it, we've sold out Dublin, but we have got Manchester and London, 2 fantastic cities, and we've still got tickets available. Pinned in the live chat. You're very welcome. Come along. It'll be really good, and I'm sure we can sort out some pubs and stuff afterwards. I did see Maybury's goal, Krish. Good goal. Spurs Way says, I forgot about Fabinho this season. Fabinho, Henderson, just haven't been that good, have they? Massive game for Liverpool on Saturday. We'll do a watch along for that. Newcastle, St James's Park. If Newcastle can win that, that could actually secure Liverpool's not going to get top 4. Look at that league table. If Newcastle were to beat Liverpool, I don't know whether there's a way back. I really don't. So shine bright tonight. Sean Dyche like a diamond. I've just been sent some clips of the Super Bowl that I'll have to think about putting them up. "13 days till the final." Oh, I think this week is the first week since the World Cup where you really feel that football is like, you know, not that it's not been exciting. I think the Premier League has been a bloody, absolutely exciting, super smashing, great exciting. But I love weeks like this. You know, Monday night football's good. Champions League tomorrow night. Wednesday night, the Premier League game between Man City and Arsenal. I think Chelsea Dortmund will be interesting to keep an eye on as well. Thursday night, Barcelona, Manchester United. Saturday night, Newcastle against Liverpool. The following week, you've got more Champions League games. Then you've got the Carabao Cup final. Then there'll be more Champions League games. Premier League's going to carry on. It's just this is where the season gets good for me, and I think this season's. You know, I hope you've all got teams that you're involved in and excited about. But I think also there's not many football fans now who just watch football for their. You know, it's not like there's not many Liverpool fans who just watch Liverpool and then turn the telly off until Liverpool play again. I think football's changed now. I think people consume football on a much deeper level. I mean, look, I sit and do the football fill-in every Monday morning, and I'm talking about Fulham beating Forest like I've watched the game, because I have. You know. Maybe not the full 90 minutes, but I've seen the key points, and I think that, you know, we're spoiled these days because there's so much good football to get involved in, and the competition level's great. Anne says, going to Dublin TUSS night before my exams. Well, don't drink. Mark, what happened to the chart show? Says Abdi, I just got busy. It will be back. The great thing about the chart show is I can just sort of say, the last one a month ago, this was the top 10. Madrid versus Liverpool next week. That's what I mean. Next Tuesday night, we'll be doing that as well. There's so many good games. That game. This is what I mean about we're spoilt at the moment. The Premier League is fantastic from top to bottom. You know, it's like walking into a club and seeing your dream girl or boy, or they, and you know you look at them from top to bottom and you go, I can't fault you. He's got a perfect face. I was grabbing the face then. And everything else, and a personality. You've got the whole lot. And the Premier League at the moment, top to bottom, is just fantastic. And then, you know, Champions League's kicking in. Carabao Cup's coming up soon. Newcastle against United. I think that'll be a great game for the neutral as well. And then you've got Real Madrid, Liverpool next Tuesday. Magnificent. I'm going to have to do a driving with Goldbridge. People just keep talking about it. Right, Tom Davies is coming on for the last 15 minutes for Everton. It might be worth watching him get sent off. He's going to clatter somebody. That's all I have. Tom Davies is like Scott McTominay. He's a walking yellow card. Stan's got a question but didn't ask it. Yeah, I am excited about going to bed. The fact that this can't go to extra time, and that I know by 10 o'clock I'll be in my bed watching. I don't know. I'll probably be asleep by 10 past 10. That happened to me on Saturday night. I went to bed about 11. I didn't know what to watch. I put BBC 4 on because they had episodes of Early Doors on, which is if you like the Royal Family sitcom, Early Doors is like a northern sitcom based in a pub, and I hadn't watched it for years. I watched 2 episodes of them and fell asleep. It was brilliant. Shame that Sabitzer is suspended on Thursday, says Roberts. It is, but on the other hand, Martinez and Sabitzer will be fresh for the Leicester game, where I think he'll go back with Martinez and Maguire again as well, and he can probably rest Fred. So in some ways it's bad, but in the other ways you might need Fred next to Casemiro in that game anyway. I think Fred might be quite useful against Barcelona because he's got a low sense of gravity, and he's quite tenacious across the ground, and of course Barcelona like to keep the ball on the ground, so he might be quite useful. Mike says, I've played the game. No, I've played the game, Mike. Not you. I've played the game. I've played the game. And why isn't Souness on TalkSport anymore? Does anyone know that? I've played. I've listened. I've been on TalkSport. I've played the game. Why am I not on TalkSport anymore? Apparently he's not going to be on Sky after this year as well. Pedro says, very poor from Everton today. Look, I'm in charge of Everton now. None of this southern rubbish from Lampard. This is northern football now. It's not easy on the eye. It's about results. I've played the game, and rest assured, I'll be running this lot round Liverpool tomorrow with a cow on their back to strengthen them up. But, with Deitch, you're not going to get great football. That's not what you're going to get. And I look at Liverpool Everton tonight, and I think I predicted a draw, and I'm not pretending I'm Gandalf. I've seen that draw, even though it's 2-0 to Everton to Liverpool. I've seen that draw, and I'm sure many people have seen that draw, and I'm sure some people have seen a 1-0 win for Everton, because ultimately, if Tarkowski's header is 1 inch wider towards the goal and it goes in off the post, that's 1-0 at half time. And then I think Everton are going to fight for their lives and either hold on to 1-0 or they're going to get a draw. So I think the negativity, football's so flip-flop, isn't it? But it's like the Potter thing. It's a great chance on the back post for Davies there. It should have been 2-1. And again, the chance you got to score doesn't go in. I don't think there's anything to be negative about if you're an Everton fan. You've been well organised the last 2 games, and he'll get you more organised. And ultimately, you're going to be looking to win games 1-0, 2-1. That's what you're going to do under Deitch. Today, at Anfield, you've just not had the rub of the green. Anybody in LA interested in playing beach football today, says DC. Well, LA's bloody massive, but if you are, have a word with DC. I'd come and play, but the commute would be too much. Can Man United beat Barcelona, says Alvin? Yes, they can. They can win in the Nou Camp, but they could also lose 3 or 4-0 in the Nou Camp, which is why it's so exciting. I'd take a draw. Eamon says Early Doors was better than the Royal Family for me. I might watch another episode tonight. I used to really love it, but I'm a massive fan of the Royal Family as well. Rushing through the stars, captivated by the world below. It was a trash header by Davies, says Trotters. Right, Liverpool got a 4v2 here. If they don't score here, this is a training ground routine. Oh, he's got it wrong. Got that completely wrong. 4v2. And Tarkowski blocked Salah's shot, but really, he gets this wrong. Is this? Who is this? Is this that Bjatic or something? He gets this completely wrong. He takes it too far for too long. Good defending by Tarkowski. But in a 4v2, you should score there. Who's the man of the match so far, says Johansson? Well, I've only got 10 minutes to go. My man of the match tonight, Matthew, would be... I actually, you know what? I actually think Nunez has had a good game, but people won't hold that. I think Joe Gomez has had a good game as well. I think Trent's had a good game. But yeah, I think Joe Gomez has had a good game. He's probably had quite an easy game because that Sims really isn't up to it. But yeah, I still think Liverpool's midfield is a bit suspect. I mean, you know what? To be fair, Everton's defence has worked hard. A lot of people are demanding more driving for Goldbridge. I feel like there's a movement here that I need to bring it back. I didn't realise there was so much people who enjoyed it, so I will bring that back ASAP. I'll find the time. Kai says that Biakatic, who I can't even pronounce his name, was man of the match. How will you manage parenting with so many live shows? Says Eagle. Yeah, I'm not live 24 hours a day. I'm not even live for 6. Most people work 8 hours in a day with commute. Now I'm getting asked loads of questions about Maguire. Where would you rate Maguire out of 10? 6. I don't think he's terrible. I just don't think he's good. I think he's an average centre-back. I think he's an average Premier League centre-back. I think a couple of years ago he was a good Premier League centre-back. But I think in the last couple of years he's just become quite an average one. He's not a 4. Yeah, he's not, look at him in the World Cup. He's not rubbish. And I think in a certain system he's a 7. But in a back 4, in a top 4 team, I think he's a 6. I think if you put him in that Everton team in a back 5, he'd be a 7. Leandis says on his day he can be an 8. What day's that? His birthday? Here's a good question from Ryan, and you can do it for your club as well. Let's see in the chat. He says, what would the first player you would be signing in the summer for Manchester United? And there's a few. I think, like Liverpool, there's probably 2 or 3 players you want to buy. A bit of afters here between Robertson and Pickford. So all push, shove. Bit of pushing and shoving. Not really a fight, just a bit of pushing and shoving. I always like a bit of that. I wish we'd seen that in the first 2 minutes. It's taken till the last 5 minutes to see a bit of that. Robertson's a right... You know what, Jason? I'm no Liverpool fan, but Robertson is... If he's on your team, you love it. It's called shithousery, and he's a shithouse. I mean, literally, Pickford's wound up and he's just laughing in his face. It's called shithousery. And he's very, very good at it, Robertson. Very good at it. And you need players like that in your team. You do. I think Martinez does it in a different way for Man United. Herrera used to do it for United. You need those sort of... Rudiger was brilliant at it for Chelsea. I'm never going to criticise those... I used to be like that at an amateur level. I'm sure some of you did as well. Some of the things I used to say to the striker when I played centre-back. You want to get in their head because it's an angle. I remember playing when I was 15. I've told this story before. I remember playing at centre-back and... We were up against a really good team in the semi-final, and there's quite a big crowd watching on the side, like mums and dads. I'm saying 50, not 50,000, and there was this woman stood there with with her dog, and Salah's in. Side netting from Pickford, and basically said, "Is that your mum?" referring to the one on the lead, and he kicked me. We got sent off. Shithousery. But the thing is, it's worth the kick. It's worth it. And the best thing is you'd kick them when the referee's not looking, and that's what it used to be like. I think it was John Terry. I remember John Terry saying once. I think it was John Terry or somebody. They used to like purposely stamp on somebody's foot because you didn't have VAR then. I mean, imagine football without VAR. They used to purposely stamp on their big toe to start winding them up and stuff like that. I hope Everton don't concede again, because I don't think they deserve to get beat by 3, but they just need to dust themselves down. Massive game for Everton, 3 o'clock on Saturday, of course. Leeds United at Goodison Park. You look at that league table, 3rd from bottom, 4th from bottom. What a game is that? Howie says there was actually a net grab on Robertson and no red card. Watch me. Let me tweet that. They'll wind up people. As I says, I think Liverpool are going to think they're good again now. I don't think they will. Look at the league table. They're still capable of... I mean, that Newcastle game on Saturday for Liverpool is huge. If they win that game, they'll be back in a top 4 race. If they lose that game, you could say they're basically out of the top 4 race. Tomorrow's games are this. We will be live tomorrow night, and this is what we're doing tomorrow night. So we've got 3 nights of watch-alongs on That's Football. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Tomorrow night, we've got AC Milan against Tottenham and PSG against Bayern Munich. Obviously, PSG Bayern Munich will be the featured game I'm watching, but we will keep you up to date. I'll have 2 screens on the go. Double watch-along, AC Milan Tottenham, PSG against Bayern tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Wednesday night, Arsenal Man City actually kick off at 7:30. So set your clocks for that. It's not an 8 o'clock kickoff. Arsenal Man City will be live at 7:30 for that for you. And we'll also be keeping an eye on Dortmund Chelsea, which kicks off at 8 o'clock. 3 nights of watch-alongs on That's Football. Everybody's welcome. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And then Thursday night, 5:45. 5:45, Barcelona, Manchester United. Exciting. Why no red cards? Casemiro 3-match ban. Liverpool get a yellow. Utter bullshit, says Rob. Because they're idiots. That's basically what it's all about. Don't forget that we have been sponsored by Sneak on this stream, and I think I'm a working experiment of how good Sneak energy drinks are, because I've only had 3 hours sleep. I've been up since 7:15, and I've done loads of stuff today, and I've only yawned about twice throughout this whole stream. So big shout out to Sneak Energy for sponsoring the stream. Remember, you can get yours delivered to your door in the UK, next day delivery. Use the code SneakBridge, helps the channel out, and you can get your starter pack where you get one of these and 9 different sachets of your choice. They've got about 30 flavours, so pick your 9, get it delivered to your door. Sugar-free, low-calorie energy drinks, or you can go straight for your 40-serving tubs. They've got fizzy drinks as well. Some lovely flavours: strawberry millions, electric mango, strawberry and watermelon, blue raspberry, purple storm. Very familiar flavour, purple storm. I won't tell you what it is, but I'm sure you can guess. Check it out. Lovely stuff, and it's helped me out today, especially on this stream. But we're nearly up here, and it's a big 3 points for Liverpool. And as I say, that Newcastle game on Friday becomes another one now. Not being petty, but Connor Cody just had someone by the neck, or does it not count if it's towards the end of the game and everyone's bored, says Nick P. Well, exactly, yeah. Big win for Liverpool in their battle to avoid relegation, says Ross. Everton are not going to get relegated, Nadia. It's as I said. I think if you're an Everton fan, Sean Dyche is the man. Is the best person you could bring in. If you stuck with Lampard, you were going to the Championship with a one-way ticket. Sean Dyche was the best manager available to keep you up. I think he will keep you up. And I didn't think you would even get 1 point from Arsenal and Liverpool. You've got 3. Take the positives. Your battle starts on Saturday afternoon at Goodison Park against Leeds. And I would take the positives from tonight. If that Tarkowski header goes in, Liverpool don't score their first goal and you're 1-0 up. You've got something to hold on to there. So Liverpool, it's about the top 4 race. Can they beat Newcastle on Saturday? Who's going down, Mark, says Riley. Definitely Southampton and Bournemouth. For me, I think it's Leeds or Forest. I think West Ham will stay up with Moyes, and I think Everton will stay up with Dyche. So I think it's Leeds or Forest. And at the moment, Leeds haven't even got a manager, so I've got to say Leeds. Even though they've got good players, I've got to say Leeds because they haven't even got a bloody manager, so it's hard to predict. What's your favourite sneak flavour, says Emrah? I do like cherry bomb. That's the one I have the most, and I like it. I used to like those cherry sweets. They were hard-boiled sweets. I think they were called cherry drops or something. So, taste a bit like that. Don't forget, by the way, lots of people have been talking about going for Goldbridge. I'm on tour. Wait a minute. Crap cross. I thought it was going to be 3 goals there for Liverpool. I'm on tour on the March international break. We've sold Dublin out, but we've got Manchester and London still available. If you want to be there in the crowd, it's going to be a great night. I did the Fozcast on Friday night in London, and it was brilliant. So I can't wait to do it for ourselves. There will be a section where it is going for Goldbridge, and we've still got tickets in Manchester and London. So if you want to get them, they're in the live chat now. It'd be lovely to see some of you there in the March international break. We'll have a great night. It's finished. It's been a great night for Liverpool. They've won 2-0. Skeleton says you missed my super chat, Mark. Sorry about that, pal. It must have slipped through. Skeleton says, I think United should try Madrid in the early 2000s, 4-4-2. If you know that team, you will understand what I'm saying, especially when no Casemiro. Casemiro will be playing against Barcelona on Thursday night. Great night for Liverpool. Everton, constructively disappointed, but 3 points from 6 against Arsenal and Liverpool, you'd take that. They're big games on Saturday against Leeds at Goodison Park. They've got to win that game, and that's what Dyche will be focused on now. Rest assured, I'll have them working this week. Thanks everyone for watching. Really, really appreciate it. And obviously, after 3 hours sleep doing the Super Bowl last night, I'm going to go to bed now. But it's been a good watch along. And don't forget, tomorrow night we've got the Champions League, and I can't wait to see PSG against Bayern. Take care, everyone. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Don't forget to go those tickets in the live chat. Get your tickets. Get your tickets for the tour. Get yourself some tickets.